This story originally appeared in Spin's April 2006 issue. We've digitized and republished it in the wake of Johnston's death. Filmmaker Jeff Feuerzeig likes to say that he and Daniel Johnston first met on the radio. The year was 1990, and the enigmatic singer-songwriter was in the midst of a live broadcast on Jersey City's WFMU, during which he improvised new music, performed comedy skits in multiple voices, recorded his classic version of Speeding Motorcycle with Yo La Tengo, and took calls from listeners including Feuerzeig, who dialed in to ask if Johnston's song Funeral Home was a rip-off of Bruce Springsteen's Cadillac Ranch. It was. Johnston did this all in a single hour, and he did it on the phone following his release from a West Virginia mental hospital. He laid it all out there, says Feuerzeig. It's absolutely scarier than Orson Welles' War of the Worlds. The documentarian would not actually encounter the object of his obsession in person until a decade later, at live shows at New York's Knitting Factory and Austin, Texas's SXSW Festival in 2000. But the 39-year-old Daniel Johnston that Feuerzeig finally shook hands with was no longer the slight young man with the shaky singing voice who had made himself an icon of the 80s underground music scene, with homemade, hand-circulated recordings of his songs about unrequited love and mental illness. He was very overweight, he was weathered, he was gray, Feuerzeig says. He looked like he'd seen the wisdom of the ages. But that voice was still there. When Feuerzeig, half Japanese, the band that would be king, at last told Johnston that he wanted to make a movie about the musician's life, he was like, "Oh, cool, that sounds great," says the director. Then he went back to smoking his cigarette. It would take another 4.5 years for Feuerzeig to complete The Devil and Daniel Johnston, in theaters this month, an alternately haunting and heartbreaking exploration of how Johnston metamorphosed from the endearing but unmistakably troubled performer of Hi, How Are You and Yip Jump music to a severe manic depressive who now happily lives in a world of his own. It's arrested development, says Feuerzeig. I've been in his garage at 3 a.m. with him, and you feel like, wow, it's really great to be back in high school. In gathering his raw material for Devil, Feuerzeig received an unprecedented and overwhelming level of assistance from his subject. At the home where the Johnston family now resides in Waller, Texas, he discovered a huge archive of materials, revealing that Johnston had already been documenting his own life, from compulsively sketched drawings to elaborately edited Super 8 movies to garbage bags full of cassettes, on which the artist had recorded 20 years' worth of conversations and phone calls. When he was out in public, taping people or taping his parents, or taping God knows what, he usually did it in a concealed way, says Jeff Tartikoff, Johnston's longtime friend and former manager. He had this master plan that he was going to do something with all of this. But in dramatized recreations and footage supplied by other friends and associates of Johnston's, the film also reveals an artist whose paranoid delusions of satanic possession could make him unpredictable and dangerous. During one psychotic episode,